Did you know that you could do the most extraordinary things if you just had the reasons? Says Jim Rome from a video that I looked at recently. And when you talk about people that take a turn in life, people that turn up in life, if I may, you will many times see something that happened before then. I remember watching an artist begin to take leaps and bounds and risks that paid off after their parent was diagnosed with cancer. I remember seeing people get sober, and then all of a sudden their trajectory goes entirely upward. But before getting sober, there were some things that happened. So there were some reasons for having it. Many times you will see people do different things once they have a child. And it's not to say have children and then all of a sudden you'll begin to ascend in your craft, but it's to say everybody would, before they do something great or extraordinary, many times, I'm not saying all the time, I don't even want to go there with you because I'm not going to use a sweeping statement on this one. Many times people will have an inciting point, like a point of impact where they're like, whoa, I need to do this. And when that happens, oh boy. Now, the opposite can happen as well. But what we're here to talk about today is what are your reasons going to be, and do you actually need them for you to do something extraordinary in your life? And we'll get to the extraordinary part later on. That'll be the third of the three. There are many stories that can tie into this, and I'll tell you a few. But the first point that I want to make to you is that when we talk about this trajectory, things are going, then boom, something happens, and then whoop, it goes upwards. And we're going to focus on the up. We're not going to talk about the down. What is that reason for you? And that's not even the first part. The first part is, does it need to get to the point of sobriety, of having a child, of confronting your own mortality or somebody else's mortality for you to do something extraordinary? Can the reason just be you want to do it? Think about that. I remember a story of an athlete who was met by an elder, and the elder said, "Do you want to be great?" And the athlete said, "Yes, I want to be great." And the elder said, "Meet me at this beach tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. And the athlete met him, and I'm just, spitballing here. It's not verbatim. The athlete met him, and he said, "Walk out to the water with me." And the athlete walked out to the water with this elder, and the elder then began to drown the athlete. And then he brought the athlete back up for air, and the elder said, "Do you want to win, or do you want greatness as much as you want to breathe?" And the athlete said, "I don't know," or something to that effect. But the idea was, the elder was showing him, if you had the conviction to be great as much as the conviction that you have to draw breath on earth, you do it. When you have the reasons, you will do something extraordinary. But do you need life or the universe to provide these reasons? Can you just do them yourself? Can you be the reason? Can you wanting it to happen just be the reason? What is it? What needs to go down for you to make something happen? I remember Dr. Lipton. No, it wasn't Lipton. Oh, shoot. It was one of these doctors. I'll remember later. It wasn't Dr. Lipton. Dr. Lipton's the one that talks about being able to read vibes without having to use any language. But this other doctor talks about, this inciting point that people usually have. They were told they'll never amount to anything. They had a point of public embarrassment or failure. They had this really, really tragic loss in their life, a big breakup. A lot of people have a breakup, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm going to change," and something happens. But this is common. But then he also mentions, he's like, "But do we need to have this? Do we need to come face to face with, like, mortality to like do this thing? And the thing is, no, you don't. You gotta want to be able to sit down and visualize it until it's all but certain. It's the only thing. It's the only outcome that it would be absurd for it to not happen. So the first step is: do you need these reasons? Do you need life to impact you for you to do this thing? The second thing is: stop searching for the answers. The reasons come first. When you become the reason, the answer then comes later on. A lot of us have questions: are we going to make it? Are we going to do this? Are we not? And when we look at the algorithm of it or the process of it, we try to get straight to the answers and skip the reasons or skip the process. In reality, the answers come after all this. And the answers are honestly just a byproduct of you going through the process. Like this whole thing of like, how am I going to get there? It's like, that's not your job to worry about the how. But what is the answer at the end? Don't even worry about that answer at the end. Just focus on what your dream is or what you envision. Focus on that. And when you focus on that and you make it absurd for it to not happen, you will then see it kind of roll out in front of you. It just ends up happening. It's inevitable. It's going to go down that way because you set it up to be like that. And when you set it up for that to happen, don't worry about the how or how the steps go. There's going to be some trials and tribulations. Trust me. Trust me, there will be trials and tribulations. There will be moments where it looks like it is never going to happen. Oh my goodness, coming out of swim practices in the midst of a Minnesota January. You kidding me? I was like, Mama, get me out of here. This is awful. It's cold. Everybody's sick. I feel like trash. And then you persevere. And that's actually what's going to happen this winter. That's a little project that I'll save for later on. But it'll be documented on this channel because I really, really want you to grasp the real-time effect of like what is actually, what this looks like and what happens with it. So the answers come later, the reasons come first. And that first step, again, do you need to have life provide the reasons for you? We go back to the past video, and you'll find it if you go to this channel. If you do not determine your future, life will determine it for you. The universe will determine it for you. If you don't take the wheel, universe is going to do it for you. How do you like that? You want that? Do you want some outside force to be the one that's going to take the wheel, or do you want to take it yourself? And that is, again, there's no judgment either way. I think it's important to understand what will happen if you don't. If not then this. Like you're manifesting at all times. And if you let go of the wheel, you're manifesting something different. If you take the wheel and you take a sharp right, you're manifesting something different. And again, that's up to you. That's really up to you how you want that to go. But the moment that you bring in your own reasons, this channel happened out of no life impacting me. There's nothing. I get probably it's not embarrassing, but it's comical. I get probably an average less than 100 views on each video. I'm 1,000% okay with that. I have nothing going here that's like, oh yes, I must get the money. My YouTube check is just down the line. No, it is not. The YouTube check is not down the line. At this moment, when I look at the screen, the 3D evidence does not indicate what I see in my mind. What I know that this channel will be and what it can be is way bigger than what I experience right now. That's okay. I know that it's coming. I know that it's going to happen. But I'm not here because I'm impacted by life and I need to make some type of live journal for everybody. That's not it at all. No. So I do it because I have my own reasons, and they're very, very important reasons to me. I've said them before on this channel. So your reasons come first, then the answers. The last thing is the extraordinary thing. You determine what is extraordinary. For some people, it might be walking on their 2 feet. For some people, it might be getting up in the morning. For some people, it might be not feeling a weight on their shoulders. For some people, it might be going for a jog. Extraordinary is relative. And your extraordinary is different than somebody else's. But you can reach yours based on whatever reasoning that comes about it. If you had the reasons, you would do something extraordinary. You would. I think it was a friend of mine. Oh goodness. I'm trying to think of an example that goes into this. Yep, we got it. So when I went to my third college, not the first or the second, the third, I was at a D1 college. It was a really big college. And I walked onto the track team because I was like, I still want to compete in track. I'm going to do this. I've seen these guys and they're only human. And so I walk on, and there's another walk-on the team. I didn't know this at the time, but he was holding his own. I thought that he was, scouted and, brought in. And later on, he and I would play a ton of music together. He'd be in a band that I was with. It was great. And he told me about the 100-meter dash, how your body is actually slowing down towards the end of it. The human body can only keep a sprint for X amount of time. And he said, but when driven by the possibility of death, the body, we don't even know what the fastest time is. Because we were talking about world records. And he was like, we'll probably never know what the world record is of the human that's sprinted the fastest, in human history. Because when somebody is threatened with their life or the lives of others that they're trying to go to, that speed is not clocked. And it's a morbid example, but that was part of the conversation we had. When given the reason, somebody will. Now, back to the practice, I remember seeing some of these sprinters, and I grouped up with the decathletes at this D1 college, and I knew that it would be my last practice if I didn't do something extraordinary. And I was lined up with a decathlete that would go on to the top 10 in the US, a decathlete that was like the top 2 in Canada, and some other really bad mofos. I mean, these cats were, I'm 5'11", these cats were 6'4", 6'5". I mean, they're hoofing it. And one state in javelin and pole vault and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm here. And we do this workout called Broken 500s. And in the first 2, I start out kicking them, and I remember the coach from the team yelling, "He's a walk-on, don't let him beat you." I just about lost it because I was like, whoa, how dare you? Yes, I'm a walk-on, but I can also run as well. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm supposed to get last all the time? I was like, good gosh, man, that was tough. But I had the reasons at that point because I was like, I need to outkick these guys. I got to do it. If I don't, then, and later on, we had a meeting and they said, oh, you've already expended 1 year of your eligibility, so we could only have you here for 4 years. We couldn't even redshirt you. So you can come to practice, but, we can't have you in and out of the locker rooms and all that stuff. I said, all right, cool. Because I was like on the team, and then they were like, no more. And that's okay, but that it was reason enough. And if given the reasons, you will do extraordinary things, but where are those reasons going to come from? You want to wait for them? Or do you want to just write them down right now? I think you know what to do. So here's your challenge for today. Write down the reasons that you already have to do something extraordinary. Because you already have it. You definitely already have it. You already have it. What are they? Write them down. If you have any questions, put them in the comments of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're definitely going to see you in the next one.